Okay, when you're ready.
So I can go whenever. Okay. Hi, I'm Kainoa, and this is my presentation. In middle school, I didn't really have a good idea of what learning was. Learning to me was getting like an A on a quiz and passing the class. But now at the end of 9th grade, I have a totally different perspective on school and learning. In middle school, I didn't really know what direction I wanted to go in life. Middle school wasn't really helping me with what I wanted to do, but NPX has helped me find my way a little bit. Middle school, I hated coming to school. I didn't like the work. The work didn't really relate to what I wanted to do. So I didn't like coming to school, and I would think about like playing soccer, going to the beach all day while I was doing my work. My favorite sport is soccer. I love soccer. I always play it. I play it like 3 times a week. Sometimes when I'm with my friends, we'll play it for like 3 hours, but it'll seem like 45 minutes. And if I did something bad before I played soccer, I would like totally forget about it and just play as hard as I could. I liked the teamwork in soccer because you have your teammates back. Like if you lose the ball, or if your teammate loses the ball, then you'll get it for them because the other team. And then I like the competition. I also like being able to hang out with my friends because all my friends are on my team. And then I like the achievement of winning a game or scoring a goal. In the beginning of MPX, I didn't really like it. It just seemed like everything else. It seemed like everything else I was doing in middle school, and I wasn't really into the topics we were learning about. Also, I wasn't used to the style of learning. Because I've been doing regular school all through my life, and then when I went to MPX, it was a lot different, so it was hard to adjust to. Once I got adjusted, I started liking it more and more. And even though I still thought about soccer, I liked school a little bit more than what I did in middle school, so I thought that was a step in the right direction. My first real breakthrough in school was the aquaponics project. In the beginning, I went to like Mari's Gardens. I didn't really like aquaponics. I didn't really get what the topic was, and I didn't really understand how it worked, and I felt like I had no connection to what we were learning about. But then when we first got our task of building a working aquaponics system and selling it, I started really liking it, and I remember I would go home and think of new ways to make our design better and like think of new ideas for our aquaponics. It had all the elements of soccer that I liked. I had a good group with all my friends in it, so we could just hang out. It had competition because we were competing against other teams. And it had the achievement of winning, because if you got picked, then you would get that achievement of beating everyone else. And I wanted to do the project. It was fun to me. When we had like the 3-hour block of aquaponics, it didn't really feel like class. It would go by super fast, and it was really fun. My greatest achievement in MPX was when we were building the plexiglass model. It was a really difficult process in the beginning because the teacher spent a lot of money on the plexiglass, and if I messed it up, then they would have to pay for my mistake and like get a new plexiglass. So I was scared that I was gonna mess it up. But once I got the hang of it, it was really fun and it wasn't that hard. And it was super cool when we finished it, seeing our fishes swimming through the system and like seeing plants grow in it. Out of like our idea that we had an iPad and we made it from nothing. And it was my first time ever building something from scratch, from just an idea to like 3 prototypes to an actual working system. And yeah, it was a fun but difficult process. In middle school, we didn't really go on a lot of field trips, and when we did, I didn't feel like it really connected to what we were learning in school. So I didn't really like to go on the field trips. But the field trips at MPX, I felt like they prepared me very well for everything that we were doing in the class. Like when we went to Mari's Gardens, it helped me learn about aquaponics and how it works. And when we went to like the Pablo patch, it was really interesting, like learning about how the Hawaiians like got a bunch of food for their people without having it being shipped in. So I thought that was really interesting. And my favorite field trip this year was probably to Coconut Island because it was really interesting learning about all the different animals and looking at all the jobs, and I thought that was something that I would like to do when I grow up. My teachers, I want to thank them because they really helped me grow as a learner. In middle school, I wasn't really thinking out of the box, but now I really want to see the whole topic and see all the angles of it. They also gave us great advice, like when we were building our aquaponics kit, we made like a cardboard prototype that was like this big, and we worked like 15 minutes on it, but we thought it was really good. And then when Kaneko told us to redo it like 3 times, we were really pissed at him because we worked super hard on it. But then when we saw that, it was like the perfect size, and we thanked him after because it was a really good idea. And then they always wanted the best for us, and it was challenging for them to make like topics that weren't boring to us, but were also so that we had fun while doing the topics. I knew that was a hard challenge for them. I've become more of an independent learner now that I'm in MPX. Like before in middle school, I wouldn't really get all my work done because I didn't really like the work that we were doing. So it's challenging finishing all my work, and I used to rely on my group to do some of the work, but now I like to help a lot in my group, and that showed in aquaponics was pretty good. And then I learned that even though you may not like school, you have to do it. So I need to put the aspects of soccer into my schoolwork, and then I'll start to like it more, like what I did with the aquaponics, because it was fun. So I put the aspects of soccer into it. In conclusion, I learned a lot this year, even though it doesn't feel like I learned a lot, because it was fun, we were doing fun stuff, but I learned a lot about aquaponics, sustainability, like Rwanda, literature, all that stuff. And I feel like MPX is a great way to prepare you for the real world and what you'll be facing in real life. Thank you.
Any questions? I say that. Any questions for Kainoa? Let's ask him hard questions now. We have to ask him questions.
What was your hardest experience? The hardest experience was probably doing all the infographics, because I didn't really know how to show something without using any words. That was really challenging.
So, I saw you didn't really talk about like essays and stuff, but what was your favorite part about Mr. Warburger's class, and what were the steps that you took to do that project?
My favorite thing in this Warburger class was probably the Obama thingy. We were talking about Obama because, I don't know, like he's from Hawaii, so that interests me, and he's like leader of our country, so when we were learning about the Romney and Obama stuff, it was really interesting, and how we did all the research about their topics that they want to do, and I thought that was interesting.
There's a lot of talk about trying to make education modeled after athletics. It seems kids are more engaged in athletics than in the classroom. What was the difference in MPX that you could make the connection to soccer? What was the biggest thing that made the difference for you?
I think the biggest thing that made the difference was how we had the competition with the other teams, because wanted to win. So I wanted to try my best to win, and I thought that competition part was cool, and like building something was cool.
So the end product and the competition kind of got you to
Yeah.
step it up.
So when we were like presenting it, I wanted to do the best I could do. And if I messed up on like the presentation, I'd do like really nice.
Any more questions? Anyone? Yes? Okay.